Hello and welcome back. Today I wanted to show you a very useful tool when developing the RDF ontologies. So this is an online graphical visualization tool for your ontologies where you can easily see and visualize your ontology. So what we want to do first is go down to the ontology section and upload our ontology. So I'm going to upload a movie ontology that I have created previously. Now, first thing that we want to do is once the ontology has been imported is to change the filter settings. Now, we want to change this to collapse degree of collapse to 0 and untick the class disjointness. And now we are going to see that this is the complete ontology. And the bubbles are representing the individual classes. And the links in between these bubbles represent properties. So, and this square entities represent literal values. So we can see that the property between two classes is an object property, and the property between the class and the literal value is a data type property. Now, what we can do is we can change some of the options, like for example, change the distance between the classes. This will make the graph more compact, or we can extend this. We can change the data type distance. Also, we can change the width of the labels. I usually just leave it as dynamic, and we can change some of the colors of the nodes. And then another option that we have is to pause the graph. That means the graph will not be moving around as we are like modifying it or visualizing it. Or we can also pick the individual nodes like this, and then we can move it around and it will not change, it will not move anymore. And one of the most important features is the editing option. So once we enable this option, we can start creating or modifying this ontology as we go. So for example, we can double click on the ontology and we can change its name. So on this right hand side, we see that the selected element, and we can change its RRI, we can change its label, we can change its type, we can delete it, and yes, continue. We can also modify the individual properties, or we can also create our own classes. So over here, if I select the class option and I just double click somewhere, I will create a new class. Let's call it place. And now if I want to create a property, I'm going to choose what kind of property I want to create. So let's call it the object property. Now let's pin this guy over here. Okay, so let's create the object property. So I click on the object property and I drag this arrow from the movie class to the property. And so let's get that movie takes, yeah, so the movie takes place in the place. And yeah, I just created the object property. Now, if I want to create a literal value, I can just choose what kind of literal value I want to choose or create. So let's create an string, and then I click on this green plus, and it will create a data type property with the data type string. I can change this name or whatever I want. And I can also easily delete all these classes and all its properties. Now, another thing I can do is to change the meta information of this ontology. I can change its title, its ROI, its version, the authors. I can create new prefixes, or I can remove existing ones. I can change the description of the ontology, etc., etc. And once I'm all done, I can either export this as SVG, and then this will create an image. Yes, so we can see it here. Yeah, this will create the graphical representation and image of the ontology, or we can export it as a JSON or as a turtle format, or we can even share the URI. Yeah, so, and this is the online web ontology visualization tool, and that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching.